What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy Matty Bell for coming through and boosting up the coin. So, we got an update. Not even an update, man. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, man, the truth right now. I don't really want to do this video. Yeah, these two are the most useless, stiff plumbers I've ever seen. But here we are. It's March 28th. And Massa Sheckelstein, he need his wrench money. Yeah, he need his money. He getting his. So we doing this video. You best believe it. Tommy Fury, the Morecambe plumber, and Jake the Fake, the Cake, Dinner Lady, Bingo Wings Paul, the Oklahoma plumber, heating engineer. That's what David Price, that's what he was. Someone said in the comments. He wasn't a plumber. He was a heating engineer. That's mad. Anyway, listen. These two got into it. Let's take it from where it's... This is where it started. This is where the beef's reinitiated from. Reignited. Here we go.
Good morning, guys. Just wanted to give a little opinion on everything I've been seeing on social media lately. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua.
I know that I will fucking beat Anthony Joshua's ass.
Just wanted to come in here and remind everybody that that bum couldn't beat me when I basically had a broken hand. I had one hand and he still lost. Jake Paul, I'm still your daddy. And everybody weighing this fight up, don't bother, because he ain't worth a shilling. And the loss will always be there, Mr. Paul. Take it easy and have a good day.
So like I said at the start of the video, I'm torn here. Normally when I jump on a video, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting ready to give it to someone. But in this case, Tommy's Tommy, yeah. He's like the little bit that fell off Tyson. And Tyson wasn't all that to have things falling off, if that makes sense. He's not all there himself, right? But Tommy's like the little piece of scraps that fell off Tyson. He ducked Darren Till. I mean, that was a big kerfuffle. He's now piping up, talking about Jake Paul, I'm your daddy. I mean, the bars are the bar. At the end of the day, yeah, I think I lost a lot of money. I can't remember how much now. When you lose a lot of coins gambling, over time, it kind of... What's the word I'm looking for? The trauma of it. There's two ways you can deal with trauma. You can be in there just stewing 24/7, day in, day out. Or your mind just kind of blanks it out. So I got that one there. Yeah? I got the blank PTSD trauma. I can't remember how much, but it was a lot of money I put on Fake the Cake Paul. Too big, too strong. He got in there and shit himself. Did nothing in there. He's useless. That was the last fight I backed him on. That was the last fight. Couldn't even handle his dinner with Tommy. Finish his dinner with Tommy. Useless. Plumber, heating engineer from Oklahoma. Get him out of here. Yeah? Get him out of here. That said, Tommy won the fight. He won. It was a close fight. But let's say Tommy won like the judges had it. At the end of the day, like Tommy said, he did beat you. It shouldn't have, and again, from my point of view, it shouldn't have been that close. I didn't bet on Jake Paul for it to be close. So if it was close, he lost. Yeah? Way too close. He was going life and death in there. So really, Jake Paul should be doing the most he can to avenge that loss. Bearing in mind, where is he going now? He just fought a 70-year-old. La Coca head. The Kinahan head. Mike Tyson, who's 70. It's not even like OYB. He fought Mike Tyson, who was 40. Yeah, he was sniffed off for a few years. But he's still 40. He was 70 years old, man. That's mad. So what's Jake Paul doing? These two, listen, Tommy's definitely... Jake Paul's got more opportunity than Tommy. There's no doubt about that one. That said, what's Jake going to do now? Tell a lie. The AJ fight's being flirted. I mean, if he's going to fight AJ, he might as well fight Mbonga. Francis Mbonga. That's what he might as well do. So he's got loads of options. But as a filler fight, he fought Mike when? What was it, November? October, November last year? He should be really getting ready to jump in there again in May. He's not. What we do know is, though, let's have a look here. Serrano versus Taylor. Apparently is, here we go, July 11th. Yeah, so on July 11th, Serrano and Taylor are fighting. On Netflix, apparently. What we don't know is, I mean, Jake Paul, fair play to him for whatever it's worth. He's into the whole female boxing scene. So he might be saying, you know what, these girls have been on my undercard a few times. I'm going to put them on, let them have their own show. But if he's not doing that, he needs an opponent for July 19th, 11th anyway. And this might be why he was saying, I'll fight AJ in 26. Because he's fixing to fight on July 11th. Who knows, I'm speculating. But if he's fighting on July 11th, I mean, AJ will fill him in on July 11th. Is he going to do that? Probably not. So if he's not going to pick AJ or someone, he might as well run it back. Does he want to get... Listen, Tommy's a stinker, man. Tommy will stink the place out. He will stink the place out. Does he really want to put Tommy on Netflix and stink the place out? Probably not. I don't know. Who else are you going to pick, though? Don't let it be no one's granddaddy, man. And I was hearing, as sad as it is, we know George Foreman got his walking papers to Valhalla recently, in the last week. I'm hearing 100%. Jake Paul, yeah. When Jake Paul heard that George weren't doing too well, Jake Paul's team was on the phone. Yeah, woo. Let's see, what's George saying? Yeah, come back, George. You did it before. That's what Jake Paul's team was saying. Jake Paul was trying to sell it to George. George Foreman's posted up somewhere on his last legs, and Jake Paul's team's sniffing around, flies like shit. Swear down to you, man. Sniffing around saying, yeah, no, George, you can do it, man. Like, don't forget, you was the oldest heavyweight champion, so you can come back now at 76. I swear down to you, man. So those are the type of man he's been headhunting. He's looking for old fighters who are literally days away from reaching Valhalla, Warriors Paradise. He's sniffing around. What's that, mate? You about to pop your clogs? Get in here now. We'll get put you on Netflix before you expire. Seriously, I swear down, man. That's what he's looking to do, man. He wanted to fight George Foreman. He did want to fight George Foreman. He did. Yeah. As it happens, George didn't make it to July 11th. So Jake Paul's like, oh damn, we got to find a new opponent. That's when he starts calling AJ out. You see that one there? Because we know AJ ain't far from it himself. He's man. AJ and George Foreman, they're on a similar... Come on, man. What's AJ? AJ's a few months behind George, if we're honest. He's finished, man. He's proper finished. He's super finished. So Jake Paul... Jake Paul knows when someone's finished or not. But now, on a serious note, let's get back to it. So, we've done the Tommy thing. Tommy called him out. That's where it started. And then they got into a back and forth on Twitter. Here we go. Fake the cake, dinner lady, bingo wings, Paul says. Tommy fumbles Fury. The ship has sailed, mate. I'm trying to build the sport. You are trying to make a payday and hit the pub. No judgment, we are just different. I mean, Jake Paul, listen, man. He's doing something for women's boxing, that's to be said. For whatever that's worth. I've never been interested in it, man. They can't punch. Seriously. They can't punch, man. They can't punch. No disrespect to the women, they just can't punch. I'm not interested. You go in there, and even if they can't punch, but even if they could punch, it's all like shoe shine. It's all shoe shine shots. They're like you know them toys you turn up, you wind them up, and then it's like Katie Taylor, fair play to her, man. She's done more than I've ever done, but still, it's like they go in there, and it's just thrashing, isn't it? I don't know why that is, but they start thrashing and bugging out. So it's not for me personally. So whatever, but come on, fake the cake, Paul. You found a little niche for yourself, a cheap niche to enter. Because no one really interested in women's boxing like that. So you've imposed yourself, paid over the odds, no doubt lost money to build your own brand. So it's for yourself. That's what I believe he's doing. So when Amanda Serrano says, oh, he paid me my first $1 million, what Amanda Serrano don't know is Netflix, Jake making money off her ass. Netflix, yeah, they woke as such. They woke that kind of LGBT women type thing. Yeah, empower women type thing. So when Amanda Serrano thinks she's hitting the lick, oh, I made $1 million. Them women's rights cats at Netflix, they probably paid him $5 million for that. See that one there? So he's taking off the top. He hitting the lick on your ass. He ain't out of pocket for that. Because for Netflix, that's small money. $1 million. They won't even know where $1 million went. Yeah, they spend that on any given Wednesday for their global meal, what they call it, you know, when you got a corporate card. Yeah, all their executives spend that in a day or just buying meals and shit across the world. That's change, petty change to them, man. Anyway, that was the first thing Fake the Cake Paul said, and then Tommy chimes in. Here's Tommy. Tommy responds to that saying, yeah, so Jake Paul says the ship sailed. Tommy says, no worries at all, mate. Hope that loss doesn't eat you up too much. Just know that you never had enough balls to try and avenge your loss. You're right, we are different. I'm a winner and you're a loser. Fair play to Tommy. But, I mean, when you lose to someone, I mean, it wasn't a loss though. It wasn't like he washed it like he should have. It's a bit like Tommy can claim he beat KSI, but did you? You stunk the place out. It was proper bad to watch. For such a professional boxer, I've got to say this, man, seriously. For such a professional boxer to go in there and, yeah, KSI was useless. He was just jumping around like a jack in the box. He was jumping around like a jack in the box, man. But even so, when you're a certain level of boxer and someone's jumping around, not doing nothing, you just tuck up and you walk straight in. Seriously, you do just do that. I have to believe that. You don't, he's jumping around, I don't know what to do. You walk into him. Yeah? You walk straight onto him. What's he going to do? So Tommy ain't seasoned like that. He was proper scared to death of a dude who was half his size, no experience, just jumping on the spot. It was crazy to watch. It really was crazy, people. I ain't gonna lie to you. So Tommy's no good himself. So he didn't really win, but on the record he won. So Jake Paul really does have to do something to make the fight happen. Anyway, the beef escalates. Jake Paul responds the following. He says, "Are you still drunk? You turned down $6 million plus upside to headline Netflix against me. Your dad and you may be two of the dumbest dingbats the UK has ever created. Oh, and you can't travel to the US. The ship has sailed unless you take $3 million and we run it in 2025. Let us know. You literally have zero opportunity other than fighting me or the other jumping jack pull-out artist." That's KSI, I assume. Jack in a box looking ass dude. The fact Tommy turned down $6 million. I don't know what kind of money these men making. Yeah. Now, to be fair to Tommy, he replies and says the following. Where is it? He replies, here we go. Tommy replies and says, "Why would I agree to that when it's less than our first fight and I beat you?" I mean, we don't know what's true and what's not true. But if it's true, which I think at the time it was alleged that Tommy got paid $8 million for the first fight, that's a crazy night's work. But still, if he did get paid $8 million, and he did he did win, kind of thing, you can't go down in the money. It's got to be probably more. It's got to be 10, right? So it can be perceived as a duck from Fake the Cake Paul, dinner lady. How else do you explain it? You put up 8 the first time, you lost, and now you want to do less. How that make sense? Especially before the fight. Where was the fight on? I think the fight was in Saudi. So is that maybe why the numbers were so inflated? Was it some Saudi boss that put the coins up? And the Netflix equivalent aren't prepared to pay Tommy Fury $10 million. Is that the case? What we'd have to investigate here, Jake Paul would have to say, well, listen, I got paid, call it 15 last time, and they're only offering me 10, so we've all got to come down. If that's the case, it's not a duck. We don't know the specifics is the issue. My guess is, though, Netflix aren't tight like that. My guess is, for Jake Paul to be coming in so low, and he's saying here now, well, Tommy finishes off saying, "Why would I agree to that when it's less than our first fight and I beat you? You're deluded. You claim to be a good businessman. If you want to talk business properly, I'm there. But don't throw stupid numbers you know won't get accepted. It's clear to see." I mean, this is the pot calling the kettle black. Yeah. This is what Tommy does. So what goes around comes around in the day. I'm not crying for Tommy. So would I watch it? I'm trying to think if I'd even watch it now. I mean, if it was, I wouldn't get up in the morning for it though. That's for sure. If it was on US time, I ain't getting up for it. Yeah, I can't see what's going to happen in there. They're both going to be in there like I think it'll look like the first one. People say Jake Paul's improved. He's improved against who? He couldn't finish Mike Tyson, and he was trying. That's a myth that he wasn't trying. He couldn't finish Mike Tyson, and he took 5 rounds of leaky deaky Mark Perry, who's coming like this. Put him up. Put him up. Put him up. Yeah, put him up. Put him up. Get him elsewhere down. What's that fight? Mike Perry's walking man like this. Yeah, gaps everywhere like this. Chops right in the air. Shocking. He was light in the back. Mike Perry was light in the back. Leaky deaky. And slow as molasses. Useless. It took Jake Paul 5 rounds. So I believe Tommy knows enough. Even if it was going left for Tommy's got enough speed and experience. He'll just run around the place and make it awkward. It will stink the place out. I don't think it'll be a good fight. I haven't seen enough from Jake Paul to know he can proper walk someone down. And like I said, if in there with Mike, he could have just touched Mike's body. We've seen Caballero do it. Yeah, he was 60 years old. 60 years old that guy was. 70 years old, sorry. For Coca adjusted years, 70 years old he was. You didn't even touch his body, man. Because you didn't dare to stand there and touch a little bit. He was like proper, he was scared to death in there. Yeah? Scared to death in there. So I'm not necessarily saying I even want to see it, but it makes sense. What else he can do? Jake Paul, he can fight Tommy. If he's not going to fight AJ, I mean, I'll be very shocked if he gets in there with AJ. It's one thing saying it on Instagram. It's another thing getting in there. But if he's not going to fight them, man, it's got to be Carl Froch or Tommy Fury. Because right now, he's just wasting a bunch of time. Out of the prime of his life as such, just hanging around. He might as well get in there and have a go on Tommy. The numbers question is who knows? We're not there. We're not in the room. These two men can't be trusted. They're both liars. I don't trust Tommy as far as I can throw him. And I don't trust Fake the Cake, Dinner Lady, Bingo Wings, Paul either. Anyway. So Jake Paul says here, I'm offering Tommy Fury $3 million to fight me in 2025. The number is $4 million if he can legally get into the US. Let's see who's ducking who. Nominally speaking, the numbers aren't bad, and Jake Paul makes a good point. Tommy ain't got no other options. At the same time, though, Tommy didn't have any options when he got paid $8 million, did he? And I guess it's hard once you've worked as such. But again, $3 million. It's hard for me to judge because, from my point of view, where I'm sitting, yeah, with Dr. Sheckelstein knocking on my door for the wrench money, I'm taking the $3 million. But still, if you've been paid I can see how psychologically you're like, what? It's hard to get over it. At the same time, though, what else are you gonna do? Yeah. He'd be putting all the money you got left up your nose in Shagaluf. It probably is better to get paid $3 million. Or is Tommy probably hoping I'll hang out and wait at some point? Jake might come back around, but he might not. Gun to my head though, if I was Tommy, I'd at least call out Jake Paul's bluff and say, okay, send the sheet for $3 million. It's not a bad night's work, man. And if you beat him again, you're gonna. The thing is, if Tommy beats him again, he's still got that over him. And especially the whole thing from Tommy should be, I'm gonna go in there and proper clown him this time, and then you can play the hard ball. Do something decisive in there, and then you say, listen, oops, if you want your soul back. And your booty hole pause. Like I could have took. Listen, I'm not. Tommy might be zesty, but let's assume Tommy ain't zesty. If I was Tommy, I'll just whoop Jake Paul's ass. I say, listen, man. If you want your soul and your booty hole, which I could have took, if I was grindering you, I could have took it legitimately. You couldn't do nothing in there. Yeah, you couldn't do nothing. You was helpless in there. Yeah, if you want it back, let's talk some shmoney. Yeah, let's talk eight figure shmoney. That's what we got to do. Anyway, I think that's more or less where the beef concludes. Then Jake Paul's got a ship sailed thing. It's all a bit corny in it, and you got Tommy Fury putting a duck out there, so it's not gone nowhere essentially. And I'm not happy for Tommy. The way Tommy's played people about, like Darren Till, I'm not sad that he's not getting it. These two really deserve each other. This is the circus act. Jake Paul and Tommy Fury is what it is. Two clowns. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash that like button, subscribe, like the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this, and people stop it.